Hello everybody, this is Vinayak and welcome back to Voxfor Lifetime, your go-to source for Linux tutorials and server management tips brought to you by Voxfor.com, your trusted provider for lifetime VPS, dedicated servers, managed WordPress hosting, monthly VPS plans, and lifetime web hosting based on cPanel. In today's video, we will walk you through how to install and set up Coolify on a lifetime VPS provided by Voxfor.com. Coolify is an open source and self-hosted platform which simplifies deploying and managing applications. It is just like Netlify or Vercel, and it provides you with the freedom on your own VPS to deploy applications, manage databases, and scale your projects efficiently without paying the plans or for any extra services just like you have to do on Vercel or Netlify. Before moving further, I would like to tell you the minimum requirements for installing Coolify. You should have a Ubuntu based VPS with version 20.04 or newer. Secondly, you should be having 2 vCPU, 4 GB RAM and 20 GB of storage because we will be installing several applications such as Docker and curl, wget, etc. along with the Coolify based requirements. Also, you will need sudo or root access to your VPS. Once you have grabbed all of them, we will proceed further and prepare our server for the updates which are required to keep our system working efficiently. I will move forward and update my system by typing the command sudo apt get update and apt get upgrade. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. This command will update all of the repositories which are present in my Linux VPS system or VPS server. Also, once this is done, we will install Coolify using two methods. First method is we can directly proceed and first install Docker and then pull a image for Coolify inside of our Docker container. Or we can simply proceed and run the command for Coolify installation and let it automatically install Docker as well as other components. I will wait for the updates to happen and then proceed to installing Coolify. Since our VPS is now updated, I will now proceed and choose the quick installation method because it is easier to use and very time effective. To install Coolify on your VPS server, proceed further and first of all copy the installation command present on our blog. To install Coolify, I would recommend you to go to our blog and copy the command for the installation, that is curl-fssl space our URL and execute it using the bash commands. I will copy it by pressing this, going to copy. Now I will go to terminal, paste it and press enter. This command will automate the installation of various softwares which are required and are a dependency for our Coolify installation, such as Docker, Helper, and real-time based operating system softwares. These will be performed one by one, as we can see that currently Docker is being pulled and installed on our server. If you want to do this process manually, you can check out our other video regarding Docker installations. I hope you will like it and it will help you in setting up Coolify as well as other softwares such as Nginx, Apache, MySQL, MongoDB, etc. You can also use Docker to set up WordPress based installations, or there are several other things such as hosting your private GitHub repositories, etc. I will wait for the installation to complete because it will take a lot of time depending on your server. If you have a low resource server or a server with lower frequency of CPUs, it will take much longer. But if you buy a VPS server from Voxfor.com, you will be getting blazing fast speeds in your VPS. Once it is done, let's come back. Apart from Docker, Coolify will also install curl, etc. And as we can see, the installation of Coolify went successfully. If you don't have a public IP address, I would recommend you to use a local IP addresses if you are running Coolify inside of a WSL based Windows container or Docker container. I will copy the IP address and open a new window, paste it and press enter. I will press continue. We will now move forward and register our user account. So we have to put our basic details. I will type my name, that is Vinayak, Baranwal, my email, a password which should be hard to guess. You can use any new password using some password generation tools, etc. I will proceed further and type a password. Click on the register button to sign up yourself as a root user. It will be only done for the first user who tries to access the Coolify dashboard. I will press register. We have successfully registered on our Coolify based dashboard. If you have previously worked with Coolify, you can skip the onboarding or simply just click on get started and you will come to know more about Coolify. So as I told you that Coolify is a self-hosted environment which is a replacement for Vercel Netlify. I will click next. And since we are having a single server which is present with us for lifetime, I will proceed further and choose localhost. If you want to extend the storage, you can either buy storage extension from Voxfor.com or use third-party object cache storing such as S3, etc. I'll click on new project. Now we will move forward and click let's do it. And now we are present inside of our Coolify dashboard. I will proceed further and accept for the notifications. In the Coolify dashboard, you can move forward and add projects. You can add servers as well, as I previously told you. Just click on add button and add the username. Add the private key along with the IP address and other credentials. Similarly, if you want, you can proceed further and add multiple sources as well for our applications, such as enterprise, GitHub, etc. Also, you have the option to add S3 storage, which will make your work easier and help you with object storage by providing you cheaper storage services. You will also be getting a terminal based access for creating a container. For example, you are having several containers and you want to troubleshoot one of them using some specialized commands. You can choose the container and connect to it and then execute the commands. Coming back to the topic, I will proceed to our dashboard, and since I am going to deploy my first resource, I will click on add resource. We can also click on the project button directly. Now, for example, I want to install a WordPress website. In the search bar, I will type WordPress. We have several options such as WordPress with MySQL, with MariaDB, or without database. I will choose MariaDB because it is having a long-term support. Now we have to check for the domain configurations, MariaDB username, MariaDB password, etc. Once it is done, I would like you to verify everything as well. Click on environment variables to check for environment variables such as password, username, and root password. Also, if you want, you can continue and change any of these secrets. I will now proceed further to the configuration tab. And first of all, you will be seeing the exit button. You don't need to worry about it because we have not yet deployed our WordPress installation inside of a Docker container. I will click on deploy. This will start installing WordPress and a Docker container for MariaDB as well. We can see the running output log for the same on our screen right now. Also, in the meantime that WordPress is being installed along with MariaDB, I would like to tell you that all of the projects which you will be hosting inside of the Coolify dashboard will be present inside their own separate Docker containers. If you are the only person managing these servers, I would recommend you to proceed further and learn Docker, or else you can hire Voxfor Lifetime to manage your servers for a very nominal charge. I will wait for it to complete. And since our containers are both started, I will cross it and we can check the running status over here. It will show you sometimes that the container is unstable. So you have to wait 2 or 3 minutes for the warning to go away. Now I will go to the WordPress settings and change my WordPress installation URL. If you don't have a predefined domain name, you can use this URL. It is just like a Vercel generated URL which is given to you. I will go to the link section, click on the link because it will be using our IP address along with a universal host name. I will click on continue to site. You can see that a WordPress installation can be installed now. However, I don't want to use this specific URL. I want to do it from my URL. So I will close this tab and instead of the domain section, I will proceed and type my domain, that is vinayak.voxfor.com. Also, it's up to you if you want to enable HTTPS. I would recommend you to do so because it will help you in increasing your search engine visibility. And add HTTPS as the prefix of your domain name and click save. Once you have done it, I would recommend you to continue and restart this configuration, or you can simply just go to production server, and on this whole service you can just click restart. It will restart both the WordPress as well as the MariaDB. It may take some time depending on your server configuration, as I told you previously, and our containers are now started. We will navigate to our domain vinayak.voxfor.com. To do this, you can click on the settings button or simply the link section and click on vinayak.voxfor.com. We can be able to install our WordPress using the vinayak.voxfor.com URL. I will proceed further and click on continue. In the site title, I will add Vinayak's test site. We will allot a username. For this example, I will type admin. Make sure to use a strong password. I will copy the one present over here, add our email. Since this is a test website, I would be recommended you to disable the search engine optimization. If you have a live or production environment website, don't click on the check mark. Click on install WordPress now. Our WordPress is now installed. I will click login and type admin along with our password. You can see that the WordPress website is very fast, and we can now install some plugins if we want, or check the server configurations. To check the server configurations in WordPress, I would like you to go to the settings or the tools section and click on site health and then click on info. This will show you the information of your WordPress website. To check the server information, I will click on server tab, and we can see that it is a Linux based KVM or the kernel along with the Apache web server running over here. If we want, we can use Nginx as well for the web server. To do it, go back to your Coolify dashboard, go to projects. I will create a new resource as well by clicking new. Now I will search for Nginx. Since it is not present, we can pull the Nginx using some Docker file, or we can just move forward, install a Docker image. Similarly, we can install Redis. We have the list of other things as well, such as MongoDB, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, or if you want to deploy using some private GitHub repositories, you can do it as well. Also, if you are into mining, you can move forward and install the Bitcoin Core repository for Docker present over here. There are a lot of things which you can find over here, such as Lightspeed, etc. You can also continue and host Drupal based websites or Magento, etc. All of these are present to you without any issues or by paying any extra amount rather than your domain or the one-time server fee. I will now proceed and check the key variables or the .env file. I will click this if I want to add the SSH key to other places such as GitHub, etc. Also, if you want to run a terminal inside of the Docker, you can continue and choose the container for WordPress and click connect. We are now inside of our WordPress Docker container. I will type ls. We can see all of these files. Now, for example, I want to edit one of these files. Type nano space wp-config.php and press enter. Since nano is not installed, we have to install it by ourselves. Type apt install nano-y. Since this is a separate Docker container, it has no connection to the main VPS. Since this is a private Docker container, it cannot access the files of outer shell unless you specify it. Now we can proceed and type apt install nano and press enter. Nano command will be installed now in our server, and once it is done, you will proceed and again execute the command nano space wp-config.php. I will type it wp-config.php and press enter. We can edit the configuration file of our wp config, which is also called brains of WordPress. I will exit by pressing Ctrl X. Similarly, if you want to remove some of these files, just make sure you don't use the sudo privileges, because our Docker containers are having a SH based shell connection over here right now. Similarly, if you want to add other people to your Coolify project, march on and click on Teams. Once you click on the Teams, you can click on Member and add other users as well using their email address, and you will generate an invite link. invite link has been registered for me, I will proceed further and copy it. And once I copy it, I can go and simply paste it in our browser, and the user will be able to access the repositories or projects which I will give it to him. Similarly, if you want to manage the Coolify dashboard, you can change the UI by pressing over here and choose the version. For example, I want to use light mode. I can simply click on light. If you want to width or adjust the width, click on center in the width section. Similarly, you can also configure DNS validations, IP addresses. For example, you are having IPv4 and IPv6. And you can also provide API accesses as well. Similarly, you can move forward and click on the shared variables, and you will see some of these sections. If you want to share some variables or environment variable files in a specific team, you would choose the team variables using the team wide command. Similarly, if you want to share a project wide variable to be used in all of the project services, you can use the project wide. And if you just simply want to use environment variable file across all of your projects, use the environment wide. Also, if you want, you can switch your teams from here. Since this is a standard installation of Coolify, you can proceed further and create new teams as well. Also, if you want to take a look at the logs of any of your services, go to your projects. And for example, I want to view the logs of WordPress. I will click over here and then click on logs. Inside of the logs, it will show me the basic log. If you want to view the logs for a specific service, go to the configuration, and inside of configuration, choose the service which you want to view the logs for and click on settings. Inside of the settings, move further and click on the logs. I will simply click refresh, and we can view the logs of the service regarding which services were being served or what are the IP addresses which were having the request sent to our server. Similarly, we can view the MariaDB based request about what are the InnoDB or what is the type of request being logged. Similarly, if you want to include timestamps, just click on the include timestamps checkbox and then click refresh. It will show you the new logs using the timestamps as well. To measure the performance of your server on which Coolify is installed, you can use commands such as htop, atop, top, btop, etc. Also, you can use Glances tool for real-time monitoring. To install Glances in the Ubuntu-based machine, move ahead and use the command sudo apt-get install -y space Glances. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. This command will install the Glances real-time monitoring tool on our server. Once this tool is installed, I would like you to proceed further and have a look at the infrastructure health of our VPS server. To do this, we will use the command glances, and we will be getting a screenshot or the real-time statistics regarding our server's health infrastructure. You can also monitor these using some third-party tools which are present in the market. And I would also like to tell you that if you are going to use Coolify, you should be using or focusing on DevOps as well. Since Coolify is a part of DevOps and the DevOps category, I will wait for the glances to be installed. The system will create a user named glances because it will help it in providing us with a detailed information regarding our system environment and server performance. Let's wait for it. Glances is installed on our server. Now I will move forward and type glances and press enter. Glances dashboard will show us what are the containers which are running inside of our VPS server, what is their health, how much CPU they are consuming along with memory, statistics, etc. We can also view the network configurations and other things which are required to monitor our Docker infrastructure, which is used for using Coolify on our VPS. Once you have used this containerized tool for monitoring, you can proceed and use other variations as well, such as Grafana and Prometheus, or you can also use the net data, which is providing you with real-time data and detailed metrics of your current server statistics, such as the number of processes, RAM consumption, memory, what are the containers, etc., which is similar to this portal we are seeing right now. That's it for our guide on installing and setting up Coolify on a lifetime VPS. which you have purchased from Voxfor. We covered the prerequisites, installation, configuration, and app deployment. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel and share it with others in the web hosting and DevOps community. For more tutorials, check out our blog linked in the description, and remember, whether you need lifetime VPS, dedicated servers, managed WordPress hosting, monthly VPS plans, or lifetime web hosting based on cPanel, Voxfor has you covered. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.